Welcome to SVL Free News and Views for Friday, July 20th. I'm here with Mike Furman down at the Civic Center. How you doing, Mike?
Doing well, Brian. How are you?
All right, and of course behind me is the famous fresco by Ben Long, which is...
Yeah, probably the most famous piece of art in Iredell County.
That's right. I remember when they put it in, there was a lot of discussion about it and a lot of... were you here then?
No, it was right before we got here.
Okay, so it's been a good... We're almost through the middle of summer, Mike, and you know, things that people are traveling and having a good time out there, but you still have a few news items. But first of all, I want to thank our sponsors, Mitchell College, Randy Marion, Piedmont Healthcare, Blue Harbor Bank, Fast Fields, Key to Escape, Statesville Family YMCA, and McDonald's of Iredell County. So we had some tragedy this week in Iredell County.
Yeah, terrible story. The Iredell Sheriff's Corporal Bill Wood riding his motorcycle on Taylorsville Highway and was involved in an accident, involved with another deputy, and unfortunately he lost his life, and that's just a terrible situation for really the Sheriff's Department and the whole county.
Right. So I called up with Darren Campbell. We're going to be listening to Darren Campbell talk about that in just a few minutes, but have you any other news stories?
Just a couple news items today. The Iredell County Commission met on Tuesday, and usually people are very concerned, obviously, about how the tax dollars are spent. They had some good news to the commission this week. The county's gotten 3 grants totaling about $160,000. $100,000 of that will be used for animal services to help with adoptions, and you know, they want to bring their euthanasia rate down as much as possible. $55,000 to reduce the amount of hazardous waste that go in the landfill, so that's good for the environment. And then number 3, a unique program where Iredell Statesville school students can request books from the public library, and they'll actually have a courier deliver them to them at the school. Wow,
excellent, excellent. So right here, as I mentioned, I went by to see Darren Campbell to get his perspective on the events that happened this week with Corporal Bill Wood. That's this. Everybody, I'm down here at the Iredell County Sheriff's Office with Sheriff Darren Campbell. Darren, I know this is kind of a sad day for you. You've lost a man.
It is. It's a sad day for the office in general, for everybody.
And kind of tell us, how devastating has it been for your entire team?
Well, this is very unique. Obviously, Corporal Woods, or Bill, as everybody calls him Bill, or Captain Planet, was very well liked, very knowledgeable here. He was a supervisor on a shift, and obviously he's been a mentor and had a long career with the Sheriff's Office in Arnold County. So he will be missed, and it's been very impactful today. It's been a solemn day here.
So basically, from the details we know, it was an accident.
It was an accident. From everything, I was on the scene yesterday, and obviously the highway patrol will be investigated, which is standard procedure for us, as we asked an outside agency to come in. But from everything I observed, it does appear just to be an accident.
And when something like this happens, what is the procedure?
Well, the procedure with us is obviously we have to look out for everybody. This is unique because usually we just have one side involved. This time we want to take care of our fallen officer and also the officer that was involved as a deputy here too. So we'll have one investigation going on with the Highway Patrol, and then we'll have our internal policy, and at the same time we'll make sure we take care of the deputies, the squads that he worked with, and also his family. We have to pray for his family. I mean, it's a huge, huge loss.
Talk a little bit about his service.
Oh, he's been around. Bill's been around a long time. Like I said, since 1993 with the county. He came over to the Sheriff's Office in 2007, and actually when I was a rookie, he was a telecommunicator here in the county, so that's how long he's been around. That's how many friends he has. So he has a long legacy with Iredell County.
A long legacy.
And the law enforcement community.
Right. And I know, do you know anything about the plans for the memorial service yet?
We do not. We're speaking to the family. I do not know what the plans are, the arrangements. We'll definitely work with them, assist them in any way that we can. And I'm sure as soon as they let us know, they would want us to get it out to everybody.
Well, you know, I want to express our sympathy and concern to the family and also your office, because it's a big loss for you.
Well, thank you very much, and I cannot say, and everybody that's watching this, the community, the outreach today has been huge. From little kids to older adults, we've had breakfast, we've had lunch, we've had cards, and that you have no idea how much that means to our guys here.
Is there anything that the community can do to help the family?
You know, I think the best thing can help the family is, we talked to him, he ended up being killed doing what he loves, but I think the biggest thing is thoughts and prayers to help him get through, help him understand and help them cope with the situation that we have at hand, and it's tough. The family, the other officer's family, and all the family here at the Sheriff's Office. I mean, it's a huge, everybody knew Bill. And
it's especially devastating when it's an accident, you're one of your own. It was just an accident.
It's an accident, and who in the world would ever thought that coincidence would happen? That I was on the scene yesterday, and we obviously was being asked. We knew that a deputy was involved, but we couldn't say didn't know at the time another deputy was involved. Obviously, they knew and we knew because they tried to do everything they can to help, save him, and they recognized him as soon as they did. And the deputy that ended up being involved in the wreck also was a warrant squad officer, and they work a lot with Bill, who's a corporal in the jail, so they instantly knew who it was. So it just makes it that much tougher.
So sorry, and keep your thoughts and prayers out for the Wood family. Thank you very much, Darren.
Thank you.
And Mike, as you can see, something like that, and I cannot imagine the deputy, it was a complete accident. And the deputy that ran into Bill Wood off duty must have just been horrified when he saw him.
Oh, it'd just be devastating. It'd be a very difficult thing for him to recover from, and for the department. It's going to be difficult.
And also on Thursday, I went out to the Possibilities Breakfast here for the Greater Statesville Chamber of Commerce, and I met up with John Childress. He hosted the event, and we found out that David Meacham, former Housing Authority Director, Executive Director, is going to take in as be the interim president for the Statesville Chamber of Commerce. And Mike, there's a couple numbers here I don't know you're aware of. Of course, the population in Statesville now is running around 25,000. But did you know in zip codes 28677, 28625 contain a population of over 72,000?
Wow.
And they're predicting an increase by 2030 of the population to go up to 216,000 folks.
For the county.
For the whole county.
And I would still imagine that most of that growth is in the south end.
That's right, still in the south end. But let's catch up. Let's hear what David has to say about filling in as interim, filling the big shoes of David Bradley, and also hear what John Childress has to say about what's going on at the Greater Statesville Chamber of Commerce. Hey everybody, I'm here at the Statesville Chamber of Commerce Possibilities Breakfast this morning, and David Meacham, it's good to see you today. How you doing?
Good to see you too. Good to see you again.
And David, you're getting ready to step in some big shoes at the Chamber of Commerce. You're going to be the interim president?
President until we find a replacement for David. We got a firm that's doing a search for us, and I'm going to hold down the fort for this town until we get somebody in there that's going to take us forward. And we're looking forward to that because David did a great job, and it's going to take some very serious initiatives for someone to come in and replace David. But we got a lot of stuff going on, as you saw today.
Well, I did. I was amazed at all the things that are going on, and then the interest. We have a lot of interest in people outside of Statesville.
Right. Well, Statesville is going to pop because we are the smallest community in America with two major interstates crossing. So, and the development of the exchange here, and then of course the livability in this community, which is great, man. This is a nice town. I know a lot of people don't really appreciate it, but I travel a lot, and I like to come back to Statesville. It's really a great town. It's very friendly people here. I've been here for 30 years. I plan to come here for 5 years and build a resume. And I'm still here.
But you know,
I love it.
We literally are at a crossroads, not only at a crossroads, but crossroads where Statesville is going to go in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And the possibilities are great. As you saw here today, there's a lot of interest, a lot of projections, a lot of land that people are developing for the growth that's coming. I mean, it's already projected, and we can see it. It's always too slow for some. Right. You know, I think it's planned growth so that we don't have these problems with traffic and things like that a lot of cities who move too fast.
Too fast.
Yeah, and then you complain. So it's a balancing act, and I think the people we have doing the planning for us with the city, chamber, downtown, and of course the economic development. I think they're doing a great job in helping to plan that growth so as we can deal with it as best we can. Yeah, strategically, because certainly you go to places like Atlanta,
and it's out of control.
You don't have the roadway to accommodate the traffic. You know, you have hodgepodges here and there, everywhere. Well, I'm glad that we're going a little slower. Everybody wants the growth because that's going to help this community a lot. You need the jobs and things like that, but overall, I think we're doing a good job.
Well, we wish you luck in your new interim capacity, and look forward to seeing what is possible for the city of Statesville.
Thank you.
Over John Childress here at the Possibilities Breakfast this morning at the Hilton Garden Inn, and you had a great turnout today, John.
I think we did. I was pleased with it. We had people who are from here, people who live here, people who do business here. We also had people who are from outside of Statesville, from Charlotte, from Richmond, Virginia, from different places coming into Statesville to see what's going on in Statesville, which was one of the goals.
Because people have an interest from outside of Statesville. They see Statesville as a possibility.
Absolutely, and that was one of the goals for today, is to get people to see Statesville as a possibility.
Because we are literally at the crossroads with 77 and 40, and now I think we're poised to go to the next level.
I think we are. You mentioned it, 77 and 40. Well, there's 5 other highways running through this town. There's rail, there's airport. It's all here. And we have the land and the capability to do it, whereas a lot of other areas that are growing, they're running out of space. We have it.
You know, I just interviewed David Meacham. He's going to be the interim president of the Statesville Chamber of Commerce. He talked about planned growth. And one of the things you don't want is this growth out of control.
Right. You have to be ready for it. You have to plan for it so that you're not growing out of control, so that you're not creating a mess. So you're not getting one area overdeveloped or too much. You have to plan it, and you have to plan what